Hey there everyone, what's up? I hope that you all are doing well. So today I am, after a long time, it's been a long time that I haven't uploaded any video and any tutorial. So today we are going to create a construction company webpage. In this webpage I am going to use some JQuery, and let me show you that here is the hero section with a button, and here is the navigation bar which is going to stick on top, and then this is the services section. Navigation bar has social icons and nav links. Here is the brand or logo. Then we do have a services section where when I hover over the this box, each box has a nice CSS effect. Then we do have some stats, and these are not with jQuery. I didn't use jQuery here, but here in the gallery section again we are going to use a data filter method of jQuery. So let me show you that when I click on commercial and housing and some other type of things, and all is going to show all these images. Then we are going to have the team section, and the team section, when I hover over the image of the team member, you guys can see that all the social links are appearing, and here is a nice footer. It's a responsive web page. Let me show you the responsiveness of this. So here, hold on, when I click on it, you guys can see the menu is working. Then these are the images, and let's go on top. So hero image, the menu, then the services section, and here again in responsiveness also, or on mobile devices or tablets, the nav bar is going to function or work same as it is going to work on the desktop. So here is a card. When I click on it, it changes the color. Then we do have a here is the gallery section, the stats section. Gallery section, and again it is also working here. It is responding commercial images, and then the housing. So and everything is stacked nicely on top of each other. Here is the team section, and if we click on it, suppose I click on it, and we do have all the social icons. And here is the footer section with the email subscription form, social icons, and the footer credit. So I hope that you guys will like this project. Let's get started. Move on to the editor. I'm using VS Code editor, Visual Studio Code. If you are new here, then you guys can follow along with VS Studio if you want the same result as mine, or if you are using any other editor, no problem, that's completely fine. Go with that. Go ahead and start working with that. Okay, here within the this VS Code, I do have a folder. The folder name is const rec or construction recording. Then within this I do have the images. Now let me show you that the images I'm going to use in this project. I've got all these images from here. Okay, and the keyword I've used for the images were buildings, houses, and all these keywords I have used. Okay, so this I tried to use construction, but it was showing me something else. You guys can see this image I have used here in hold on, let me go to the commercial. So you can see these two images I've got from here, and then you have to change the orientation. I usually use this horizontal orientation for my pages. So these 2-3 images, and then you have to scroll down, find more, whatever the images you like, go ahead and use. And the other keyword was housing, and then by searching all these using the keywords housings or houses, building, some architecture I used. I've got all these images, whatever the images I've used here in my gallery section. Okay, and these team images, I've used these team images in one of my previous projects. I forgot about the project. In that project I've used it, and I'm sorry, I don't know from where I've got these images that time. I used these images from the same folder, so accept my apologies for this, because I really don't know. Maybe in that video I have mentioned, I'll try to find the source of these images, and I'll try to mention the link in the description below. And yes, for this also I'm going to give the link in the description below. Okay, so here is the VS Code editor images I've told you about. Now let me create a page. The page is going to be index.html. Then I would like to create another one which is going to be main.css, and another one which is going to be main.js. Okay, as you know that I'm using Bootstrap 4, so here is the Bootstrap 4 extension. I have this extension by let me show you how I've got this extension. I just clicked on this button in my theme. I actually forgot about this theme, so it have here I have got this by clicking on this extension. I just typed here Bootstrap 4, and you guys can see that they are showing many of the Bootstrap or React, all the extensions. Okay, so I've already installed my extension here. Okay, so let me go and the emit abbreviation, and here is the Bootstrap 4 extension, sorry, starter template or a boilerplate. Then here in the title, let's say construction go. Okay, construction company. Then after, I would like to link the style sheet link and related to style sheet, and the href is going to be main.css. Then I would like to include add a, first of all let me show you here, JQuery CDN Google, type this, and then here after these ads I'm going to click on this link, developers.google.com hosted libraries. Just click on this link, get the CDN link. I'm using CDN links in my in all the projects. So here from the script to until this script, copy this code, add it in the header section. So I'm in the head section, so here it is. Then the next thing is, it's a JQuery. Okay, it's a JQuery code, and then we are going to use font awesome icons. So add your email address, click on this send kit code button, follow the instruction which you are going to receive in your email address. I already have the script here for the font awesome icon. I'm just going to copy this, and after copying it I have to paste it here within the head section. Okay, then the next thing is Google Fonts. So for the fonts I'm going to use in this project, first of all let me close this one, and here Google Fonts, here is the Google Fonts, and I'm going to use, let's see, oh it's a, I've seen this one today, and let's go with Roboto. Okay, so I'm going to use the Roboto, and the Roboto I'm going to use 400 regular and medium 500 and bold 700. Okay, if you guys want to download it, go ahead, download it. Again, I'm not going to do this, so I just want to copy this, copy this and let me add it here in the head section. Then after, I would like to do another thing, that is the CSS. Okay, so here below this they have defined the CSS rules. Here you can see they've defined the CSS rules. Here you can see CSS rules to specify families. So what I'm going to do, let me copy this one, copy this, and I want to paste it in main.css by typing body, and here we are. Okay, the next thing is that, okay, we have done almost with all the necessary elements, whatever we need in our web page. Then we are going to link this main.js, and I would like to link it in the body section. And here I should say script, and the source is going to be main.js. okay, and now we have done with the setup is finished. So let's start writing the code. First of all, we do have the hero section or the hero image. Let me show you here, and I don't think so that we need it, but okay, let me close it. So here we do have the hero image with the button. So let's go to the editor and start working with this. I would like to go with the comments hero section. Copy this, paste it here, and I just want to say end of the hero section. Now within these lines I would like to write my code. Okay, first of all, I would like to go with the section element. The section element is going to have an ID. ID is going to be hero. Then we have to go with a div, assigning it a class. The class is going to be hero container. Then we have to go with the heading 1. Heading 1 is going to say welcome to the whatever the company name. So I'm just saying construction, let's say co. Okay, welcome to the construction co, and here we are going to close the heading 1. Then we have to go with heading 2 and some. Then in heading 2, let's have some lorem ipsum text, which is going to be of 8 words. And then after, what's going on? Then after here, I would like to go with an anchor tag, and here let's see, we should have a class. The class is going to be main bdn, and the bdn is going to say get started, or let's say let's talk. Okay, save it, move on to the browser. I'm going to use the live server. This is also an extension. Okay, I've installed this extension. So we do have this. Here is the title, and here is the web title, construction co. The heading, this heading 2, main heading, heading 2, and the button. Let me close this, and let's go to the style sheet and start styling this one. Okay, the markup is done for the hero section. So here is the main.css. Let's start with the comments. So hero section, and I would like to go with an ID, hero ID, where the width is going to be 100%, height would be 100 view height. Let's have a background. The background is going to have a URL, and the URL I would like to use, I do have a folder images, and here I'm going to use the image hero1. Then let me say top center. Now I would like to use background size, and the size is going to be cover. Then let's use the position is going to be relative, and I would like to go with the margin bottom, which would be -72 pixels. Okay, then I would like to use some media screen, so at max width 992 pixels. The hero image or the hero is going to have a margin bottom of -58 pixels. Okay, the next thing we are going to use here is hero pseudo element before, where the content, this is for the overlay. Let me show you the overlay, what I'm talking about. Let me save this. We are here. So this is the image. Okay, the image I'm using in this section, hero section. Here this image has a nice color, so this nice gradient color, okay, on top of it, or a gradient overlay we can say. So the same overlay I want to use it here. Okay, so here that's why I'm going to write this hero before, and okay, then I should say the content is going to be nothing. Now we are going to define here background, it's not attachment but only background, RGBA 21 5 23, and then I would like to go with 0.5. The next I would like to define here is linear gradient. Okay, I'm not using this linear gradient in the beginning, but I'm going to use it here now. So now what I'm going to do, let's say RGBA again 26 0 33 and then 0.5. okay, and here I would like to have it on 0%, comma, then I would like to go with another RGBA color, which would be 26 0 33 and 0.5. okay, then I would like to say that it is going to be on 5, it is going to be 5%. Then I would like to go with another RGBA, and this is going to be 38 6 51 0.5. this would be the opacity, and it is going to be 40%. Let's use another RGBA, which is going to be 147 47 69 0.7. I'm sorry, there is a construction going on in my neighbors, so if you are hearing any background music, please bear it with me. Then after this, let's go with another RGBA, which is going to be 236 97 93 0.7, and it is going to be 94%. Then another RGBA This RGBA is going to be 236, 97, 93, 0.5, 100%. Okay, and I should say repeat scroll 0% and then 0%. Okay, then here I would like to define the position, which is going to be absolute because we have used the relative absolute. Now let's have a bottom, which is going to be 0. Top is going to be 0 again. Left 0, it is left 0, and right is also going to be 0. Save it, move on to the browser. Let's see. Okay, so you guys can see there is a nice color. Now move back and let's start working on this title, subtitle and a button. So here, hero, and it is going to have it's a hero container. Position for this is going to be absolute. Then we do have a bottom of 0. Top would be 0. Left 15 pixels. Right is also going to be 15 pixels. Display flex, justify content center. Then we have to align the items center and flex direction, which is going to be column. Text align center. Okay, then here we are going to say hero heading 1, and this hero heading 1 is going to have a margin of 0. Then the font size is going to be 64 pixels. Then we do have a font weight, which is going to be 700. Then we have, because let me check again the font size. Of course, we have used 400, 500 and 700. Okay, then we are going to use the line height, which would be 56 pixels. Let's use the text transform property. We can use it in Bootstrap, but I don't know why I didn't use it there. And then let's have a text color, so it is going to be white. Save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. Okay, so here is the title 1. Now the next thing is going to be welcome to the construction code, and then we are going to work with the heading 2 or this subtitle. So hero heading 2. Here I would like to define the color, which is going to be white again. Margin is going to be 15 pixels, 0, 0 and 0. Then we have to go with the font size, which would be 24 pixels, and save it. So here is this. Now let's work with this button. Let's talk or CTA. So the button is main BDN, let's go with font weight here. Font weight, which is going to be 400, and font size would be 16 pixels. Let's use the letter spacing, which would be 1 pixel. Display inline block. Padding is going to be 10 pixels and then 40 pixels. Border radius is going to be 4 pixels. Then we have to use the transition. Here the transition is going to be 0.5 seconds. And let's use the margin top. So the margin top is going to be 30 pixels. Let's use the border. The border is going to be 2 pixel solid and white, and the color of the button or text color of the button is going to be white. Now we have to use the hover. So for this I should go with the hero main BDN and hover, and then the background on hover is going to be 36004B. Then we have to use the border, and the border is going to be 2 pixel solid, and here the border color is going to be 270136. Okay, let's save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so here is the when I hover over it, and if I say text decoration none, let me go back, and yep, now it's looking good. Okay, now we have to do another thing, which is add media. Here the minimum width, not the button, sorry, here the minimum width is going to be, the error here. Okay, the min width is going to be 1024, where this hero section is going to have a background attachment fixed. Okay, and I would like to have another media. The maximum width for this one is going to be 768 pixels, and we have to say hero heading 1 is going to have a font size. The font size is going to be 30 pixels. Then we have to say line height, which would be 36 pixels. Then okay, hold on. Heading 2. So here is heading 2. Heading 2 is going to have a font size of 18 pixels, and the line height is going to be 24 pixels. Okay, let's save it. Here we are, and on mobile device. Okay, it's looking good. Now let's move on to the editor and start working with the navigation bar. Okay, sorry, with this navigation bar, and then we are going to use some jQuery. So here in the index.html, let me remove these extra spaces, and let's have a another comment for the nav bar, and then let's say end of the nav bar. Okay, now what we are going to do here, as usual, I'm going to use the Bootstrap nav bar. So nav ID is going to be navigation, and then let's use the class. The class is going to be nav bar, and then nav bar expand and expand large. Let's have a anchor tag. So href, not 3, sorry. Then we have to go with the class. This class is going to be nav bar brand, and yes, here let's say construction. Okay, construct. Sorry. Okay. Then we have to go with a button, the toggle button, and this button is going to have a class of Nav Bar Toggler. The type is going to be button. Then we have to use a data toggle, which would be collapse. Let's use data label, and here we are saying that toggle navigation. Then I would like to use a font awesome icons, so I class FA bars. Okay, now we are going to start the Nav Link section. So for this, another div, assigning it a class. The class is going to be collapse nav bar, and nav bar collapse. Then we have to use an ID, nav bar nav. Let's go with the unordered list, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be nav bar nav. Okay, it's a Bootstrap class. Okay, I'm using it from there. Let's use the list item. The class is going to be nav item active, and let's have an anchor tag href, which is going to be, should have some ID. I'm not going to use it, but let's see, nav link. It's a class. Okay, let's have a class of nav link, and let's name it about. I would like to copy and paste this for several times. Okay, copy this. Okay, now I would like to remove this active class. So by pressing the Alt from my keyboard, I'm selecting all the actives together. Okay, now in place of these about, let's change and let's name them so what we are going to do here, the second one is going to be projects and our services. Okay, let's say services, services, sorry, services. Then we do have a project. Then let's go with our here it should be projects. Then we have to go with team. I don't know why I'm And then I would like to go with the contact, and let's contact. We should have a stats, but I don't want to go with the stats, so I'm just removing the last one. Here we have done with our navigation, and we do have actually let's go and let me show you something, then I'm going to explain you that what I'm talking about. We have done with these, okay, and we have to work with these social icons. So first of all, let me show you how it is going to show here. Okay, you can see all these nav links here. So now we have to go with the social links in this site. So for this, I'm here, and now I would like to go with the social links. So let's go with a div, another div, assigning it a class. The class is going to be header social links, and then we have to go with an anchor tag href. Then let's have a class of Facebook. Okay, sorry, yep, not this class, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why my apologies for this. I don't have to use it here. Okay, so let's have another div for the social links. Here it is going to say header social links, and anchor tag href. Then we have to say class. This class is going to be Facebook. Okay, and then here I would like to go with a font awesome icon class Facebook Facebook. And what I'm going to do here is I just want to copy this link. I want to paste it for Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Okay, so first of all, this Facebook, okay, what's happening? This Facebook is going to replace with Twitter. And then this one is going to replace with Instagram, and this one is going to replace with LinkedIn. Okay, so you know I made a mistake here, but I'll fix this one. LinkedIn. Okay, and it is going to say FABFA LinkedIn, and yep, now it's fine. Let's go to the browser and let's see how does it look there. So yep, we do have the links here. Now let's go to the main.css and start styling them. Here in this one, below this hero section, let's have a comment for the nav bar, and let's start working with an ID of navigation. Then our navigation is going to have a background, not attachment, but background. This background is going to have a color of 1D0227. Then we have to go with the padding. So this padding is going to be 20 pixels, then 40 pixels. Let's go with Z index, where the Z index is going to be 100. And let's go with the width. The width is going to be 100%. Let's work with the nav list item. So navigation list item, the padding for this is going to be 0 and 10 pixels. So again, I just want to copy this selector and I want to paste it here. Then I want to add the anchor tag, and I would like to change the color of the links, so it is going to be in white. And then we have to go with the nav bar brand, and nav bar brand, it's also a class, nav bar brand and nav bar brand hover. So here the color is going to be white. Then we have to use the font. Let's work with the social icons. So for that, header social links, padding left is going to be 20 pixels, and I want to copy the same selector, header social links selector. Let me paste it here, and anchor tag element A. Then we have to go with the white color. Padding left is going to be 6 pixels, and that's all. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so here we are. Now we need to fix this one, but before fixing this one, let's go and start working with this services section. Let's finish this services section, and then we can fix this navbar. Okay, here in the index.html, again I want to remove these extra spaces, and let's start working with the services section. Services and end of the services. Let's go with the section element. First of all, section, and the section element is going to have an ID. This ID is services, and let's have a class of services. Then let's use the div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be container, and another div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be section title. Let's have heading 2, which would have a class of text center. Padding top and bottom is going to be 5, and let's see, services. I think I should keep this padding top of 5, and this title is going to be services. Then what we are going to do next is have another div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be raw. Div class, column medium 6, column large 3, display flex, align items stretch, margin bottom 5, margin bottom on larger devices is going to be 0. And okay, now we would like to work for this description box, these description boxes. Okay, I didn't use cards here. I've just used some. Let me show you. Okay, class is going to have a description box. Then I would like to say div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be icon, and let's use the font awesome icon, and FA cubes. Let's have heading 4 here, assigning it a class, title, href, and let's go with some lorem ipsum. Then let's have after heading 4, p element with a class of description, and here let's go with some text of 12 words. Okay, save it here for my convenience. First of all, let me show you what's going on in the browser. So here we do have the first description section or box is going to be ready. Now I would like to copy and paste this for next 3 items. So copy this, paste it here, save it. I just want to change the font awesome icon, and yeah, so the cubes, in place of the cubes, let's use FE edit. Let me paste it here. Again, it is going to be FESFETH and another one. So this is going to be archway. Archway. Save it. Here is the okay. So here we have the 4 items, 4 description boxes. Now let's go to the CSS and start styling this one, and then we have to apply the jQuery in this over this navigation bar. Okay, so here in main.css I'm going to add the comments. So the comments are going to be for the services section, and let's start working with our services section. Let's start with the class of services. Services class is going to have a padding of padding bottom, and the padding bottom is going to be 30 pixels. Then let's have services description box. It's description box. So in this description box I would like to use the padding, and here the padding is going to be 60 pixels and then 30 pixels. Let's use the position here. The position is going to be relative, and overflow is going to be hidden here. Overflow hidden. Let's use the background. Background is going to be FFF, and let's use the box shadow. Box shadow is going to be 30 pixels, 0, 35 pixels, and 0. And here I would like to use the RGBA, which is going to be 32, 173, and 0.12. Okay, let's use the transition here. So the transition is going to be all for 3 seconds, ease in, out. Okay, let's use the border radius, which would be 8 pixels, and let's use the Z index. Here the Z index is going to be 1. Then text alignment center. Let's save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so here you guys can see that how it's looking. Actually it's looking cool. Now we have to work with these icons plus this hover effect. So what I'm going to do, let me copy this selector. I want to paste it here, and I would like to go with the pseudo element before. Now the content is going to be nothing here. Then let's use the position. Position is going to be absolute. Background, FDEFF 2, and let's use the right 0. Left is also going to be 0. Bottom would be 0. Top is going to be 100%. Transition all 0.4 seconds, and the Z index I would like to use 1. Now I would like to copy this same selector from there. Let me paste it here, and let's use the, first of all, let me use it, hover, and let's use the before here. Okay, and background is going to be here. The background would be 1D0227. Let's use the top. Top is going to be 0. Border radius is 0 pixels. Let's use the services icon class, and the margin bottom for this one is going to be 15 pixels. Then let me get the same selector, copy this, paste it here, and I should go with the font awesome icon, where the font size is going to be 48 pixels, and it's a font size, so font size is going to be 48 pixels. Then let's use the line height. Line height is going to be 1. Color would be EC042E, and transition would be all 0.3 seconds. Ease in out. Save this, and let's work with the services title, actually services title class, and the font weight is going to be 700. Margin bottom, this would be 15 pixels. Let's use the font size, and the font size is going to be 18 pixels. Another class of services title, and here the color is going to be black. Now let's use the description. So hold on, save it, move on to the browser. Okay. So let's use the description boxes, and description boxes. I do need to define this here. Services, then description box, and hover. Then we have to go with the title link. Let's have another class of services, then description box, and hover, and hover, and here the color is going to be white. Okay, let's check. No, there must be some problem. I need to check. I think I have missed something in the markup. So let's move on to the okay, yeah, we are missing this description class in the CSS actually. So first of all, let's fix this thing. Services, and the services is going to have a description class. Here the font size is going to be 15 pixels. Then let's have a line height. This line height would be 28 pixels. Let's go with margin bottom 0. Okay, so here we have done with this. Now here with this hover, let's use this description class here too. So description, okay, and the color is white here. So let's save it and let's check now. No, there must be some problem with the Z index somewhere. Okay, I need to fix it. I need to check it. First of all, let's fix with the icon and then we will go with this thing. Okay, so services and description box and then we have to go with the hover effect and icon, and here the color. Okay, sorry, the description box hover and the color is going to be white here. I'm sure this time it's going to work. Let me refresh it because I don't think that I made any kind of mistake. It should be shown here. It is not. Let me check where I've made a mistake. Okay, so here is the problem within this services description box. Before, it is not just 1, it is -1. Let's save it. Now if we move on to the browser, now it is working. Okay, and now we can do another thing, which is going to be, you know what, let me remove these extra spaces from here and here. Okay, so we have done with the services section. It is working. Now let's create the this statistics and gallery, and then we will work with this nav and gallery together. Okay, so move on to the, first of all, this is our site we are working on, and here is our services section. Now what I'm going to do here, the first thing is that I have to create another section that would be a stats section. So let's say projects. Okay, and let's say stats, not projects. So stats, and of the stats. Okay, I need some space here. Let's go with the section element and assigning it a class. This class is going to be projects, and yeah, let's go with the project ID, project class that have an ID which is going to be projects. Before I was thinking to use numscroller JS or any other counter for this section, but then I decided that let it be like this. Let's not use any numscroller or any counter here. So the div class, but if you want to use, then you can use this id, okay, for those num scroller or counter, whatever you want to add, so you can use this. So let's move on and have another class. This class is going to be content box, okay, and then we have to go with another div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be container. Let's have another div with another class, which is going to be raw and text center. Let's have another div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be column medium 3. Another div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be project items. Let's have a font awesome icon class here. This class is going to be FESFA building. Let's have an other heading 2, where we have to use a span element. This span element is going to have a class. The class is going to be counter text center, and let's use the counter of 500, suppose. Then we have to go with, another stat, like same like this. Let me go back and let's check that. Okay, so here is a building, and the 500 buildings are made by this construction company. Let's have another one. Copy this and paste it here, and here let's change the icon. So FESFA city, and let's say 200 cities are made by this company, this construction company. They contributed in this. And then let's have another one, which would be here. The icon is going to be FESFA truck loading, and let's say 100. I really don't know why I'm using this icon here, but it is related to the construction, so that's why I have just added it here. And let's have another one. Okay, here in place of the building, let's change the icon. So FESFA target. Let's save it, move on to the browser. Okay, let's move on to the CSS section and start styling this. So here is our CSS, and after the services, let's go with the projects stats section. So let's start with the project class. Project, and I just want to check, is it project or projects? Yeah, let me fix this issue. It's project class, it's not projects. And let me check something else. Yeah, I do have some battery issues. Now it's fixed. Okay, so the project class, so the project class is going to have a background property, background, and background image property actually. let's assign it a value, and for this I like to go with linear gradient, and here the RGB A is going to be 21, 1, 48 and 0.5. The next RGBA is going to be 243, value of this 87, and again 87, and then let's go with 0.7. And then after, what it would have, like I would like to go with a comma here. Let me bring it here, and let's have a URL. This URL is going to have an image within the images folder. I would like to use the hero2.jpg. Then after this, I would like to go with the background position. So the background position is going to be center. Then padding top would be 180 pixels. Then let's go with padding bottom. Padding bottom, which would be 200 pixels. And let's go with color. The color is going to be white. Background attachment, I want to have a parallax effect here, so let's say fixed. And margin top would be 100 pixels. Save it. Let's see what's going on in the browser. So here we are. Okay, so here is the image with a great overlay of a gradient, and now let's work on these icons. Okay, so first of all, let's go with the project icon class, where the font size is going to be 85 pixels. The next one is going to be project item class, items actually, and with the heading 2. So the heading 2 is going to have a font weight of 700. Then let's go with the font size, which would be 42 pixels. Color is going to be white. Now let's use the project P element, and the font weight is going to be bold again. Letter spacing would be 1 pixels. Okay, let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. Okay, so the 700 font, let me check how does it look here. Okay, it's fine, it's looking good. Now let's move on and start working with this gallery, or we can say project section or work section. Okay, not project section, work section. So here in the editor index.html, let me remove these extra spaces first of all. Our work section, end of the work section. Let's use the section element, assigning it a class. This class is going to have a padding top and bottom of 5. Then I would like to go with a div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be container fluid, Let's have another div assigning it a class. This is going to be raw, and the text is going to be dark. Then text should be in the center. I have another div assigning it a class. This div is going to be column and then margin 4, and then we have to go with h1, assigning it a class, display 4, margin bottom 4. Let's see our work. Okay, so what we have to do next is to have an unordered list, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be list inline bootstrap class. Text is going to be center, and then text is going to be uppercase. Let's have another list item with a class. This class is going to be list inline item. Let's name it work list item active item. And yes, let's have a data filter here, and we will use it in JavaScript. Okay, so yeah, so you will understand what I'm going to do here. I'm just naming it all. Okay, then after, let's have a span element, assigning it a class. This class is going to be margin left and right is going to be 3, and let's name it all. Let me help you to understand that for this all, this is the span element, and for this data filter, this all is going to work like here it is showing all the pictures, all the images of related to this company's work. If we click on commercial, the next our next data filter is going to be commercial, plus the span is also going to be commercial. And when we click on the commercial, then the function is going to the function is going to work, and it is going to show us these commercial buildings. If we click on housing, then it is going to show us the housing buildings, okay, or lorem, some other. So this data filter and the span element here, these are the spans, and when we click on them, the data filter plus the function we are going to create in JavaScript is going to work here in this section. So here the span element is all. Then we have to go with another list item, assigning it a class. This again is going to be list inline item, and then we have to say that work list item, and let's use a data filter, which would be, again, as I've told you, commercial. So commercial, okay, and within this, let's have a span element. This again a class, margin left and right would be 3, and it is going to be, if you guys want to style it, you can use this span element for some styling. What I'm going to do, I just want to copy this housing. We have another one is it's not housing, actually it's commercial, sorry for this. Okay, so let me copy this and paste it. This is going to be housing, and the other one is going to be lorem. So this commercial and this commercial is going to remove from here. Housing, let me make this one uppercase, and again another one. So this one and this one is going to be lorem. Save it. Let's go to the browser, and here we were working here. So this is our work, and we do have these 3 span elements. Now what we have to do next is to work for these images. Okay, do it all, and here after this unordered list, let's have another div, assigning it a class. This class is going to be container fluid. Okay, let's have another div, assigning it a class, display flags wrap, justify content center. Let's have another div, assigning it a class. The first class we are going to assign is filter, and it is going to filter the commercial images. Okay, so all the images related to this commercial class, the commercial images, are going to be shown here when the span element is clicked. Image source, I'm going to add an image here. So source is images, and the first image I'm going to use here is for the commercial one is com1 jpg. Let's set the image width, which is going to be 300. Okay, now the next thing is I would like to copy and paste this div for several times. So here's the one, this is for the commercial. Let me copy this, paste it here, and let's change this one into housing, HUSING, and here the image is going to be this one. I named the image HUS, and another one. So this is going to be lorem. Let's go with the lorem class, and for the lorem it is going to be, I've used some interior design, so int1. Save it, and let's move on to the browser now. Let's see that how does it look. Okay, so we do have these 3 images. Okay, images have different sizes, that's why it is shown like this. Now what I'm going to do, I just want to copy and paste this here and here, save it. Let me see how many images do we have here. So I need, let me check. Okay, twelve images, so I do need some more. For this extra we are going to cut the extra div if there would be. Okay, there isn't, so let's change the images only here. So these are the com was int again, com2 was 2 int 2 again. Let's change here with 3, and here let's change it with 4. Save it, and now we do have, let's see, Let me use my other mouse here. So okay, so we do have the images here. First of all, let's we have done with this section, so let's go to the main.css and style this, and then after we have to work with our or at the end we will work with the JS, okay, or the JQuery or main.js. As I've told you that we are going to use JQuery in this section and for the navigation bar, so we will do this in the end. Let's style this right now. So for the styling, here we are, and work list item class is going to use here. So what I'm going to do, let me say our work section. Now I would like to work with the, let me get this class from here, okay. I don't want to work list class, list item class, paste it here, and now let's say color. The color is going to be black. Let's use the cursor. Cursor is going to be pointer, and let's use the user select none. And for the active item, we do have a class of active item. Here we would like to go with the color, and the color is going to be 55012BEE. Okay, save it, and okay, so when we will work with the JQuery, it is also going to be defined more, and you guys can see that the color is not much, just for you guys. I don't know. Okay, it's a bit different than others. Okay, now you can see it is like a pink color, but it is not, this is not what I want. I just want to go back with the same, the dark one, this one. Okay, with the black it is not so visible, but actually it is not this one. Let me define again, 55012BEE. Okay, so we have done with this section also. Now the next thing is we have to apply jQuery here, or JavaScript here, but before that, in JavaScript, let's finish this theme section and this footer section, then this nav and the gallery section will work with the JavaScript. Okay, so here in the index.html, let me remove these extra spaces from here, save it. Here we are. Let's go with the comments first. Theme section, and copy this, paste it here, and let's say end of the theme section. Let's go with the section element first. Class is going to be theme, section background, and this section background, we are going to use a background, and margin top is going to be 5 here. Let's have a division assigning it a class. This class is going to be container. Another div assigning it a class, and this is going to be section title. Heading 2, class is going to be text center. Padding top and bottom 3. our team. Let's have a division, assigning it a class. This is going to be raw. Another division, assigning it a class. Column, large, 3. Column, medium, 6. Display flex, align items, stretch. Div is going to have a class which is going to be member. Another division, assigning it a class, member image. Let's have an image here, and for this img source images, and the image is team1. All these features, as I've told you earlier, that all these features I am using from another project of mine, and I have mentioned in that project that from where I got these images. Now I don't remember. This image fluid class is going to make them responsive. Then we have to use a div, assigning in a class. The class is going to be social. Let's use anchor tag. Within this, let's use a font awesome icon class, FAB, FA Facebook. And now what I'm going to do, let me copy this: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. So this should be Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Save it, and let's have another div here. With a class where we would like to add the member info, and info of this member is in heading 4, and just the name of this guy, I think John Doe, and in this pan element define his position, so lorem ipsum director, lorem ipsum officer. Okay, that's a chief executive officer, sorry, chief executive of the officer is there, chief. I've made a mistake in the spelling of chief. It is chief. Go on to the browser. Okay, so we do have an image, social icons, title, and the position. So for my convenience, I would like to copy and paste it for, I think I do have, let me check how many members I do have here. So 3 more members for them. Let me copy this whole section. Copy it and let's paste it here. And let's see, first of all, here it is reloading and it's done. Okay, so let's change the title, she is Jessica Chang. Title, whatever you guys want to name it, go with that. Team 2, save it, and let's have another one. Here there's going to be Jane Doe, and the image is going to be image 3, and another one. So image 4, and let's change the name, William White. Okay. Okay, so we do have the 4 images of the team members. Now let's go to the CSS and start styling this. Today my internet is working a little bit slow. So first of all, team section. Okay, so in the team section, I would like to go with the section element, section background element, class. We have used this section BG class here. Where is that? This one. Okay, so section background class, where let's have a background, and for this I would like to get the, okay, let me type it. It's not a background attachment, but it's a background image, and the background image is going to have a linear gradient. Then let's use the RGBA here, and 21, then 1, then 48, 0.5. Let's use another one, which is RGBA again, and here let's use 243, 87, 0.7. Okay, and then let's have a URL here. So comma, let's go with the URL for this. I do have image here. The image name is BG, and okay, first of all let me show you what's going on in the background. And I saved it, yeah, and 21, 48, and there must be some problem. RGBA, and the image is, yeah, but it is not showing here. Let's check, and okay, again I think it's the server issue. So here is the image, the background image, okay, with the linear gradient. Now let's go with the background position. So the background position is going to be center. Color for this would be white. Background attachment, again fixed, and let's have a margin top 100 pixels. Okay, now for the team member class, team member, margin bottom 20 pixels, overflow hidden, border radius is going to be 5 pixels, background is going to be white, box shadow is going to be 0 pixels, then 2 pixel, 15 pixel, RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.1. Let's work with the image. So team, then it's not a team member, it's team is another one and member is another one. And yeah, so the team is another class and the member is another class, but here I mistook, but and again here I fixed it. So the member, and again we do have a member image. Okay, here we have a position relative, and then we have to go with overflow hidden, then the team and member. Let's get these classes from here, and let's work with the social class, where the position is going to absolute, left is going to be 0, bottom would be 30 pixels, right would be 0, opacity is going to be 0 again. Let's have a transition here. This transition is going to be ease in, out. Okay, and it is for 0.3 seconds. Let's have a text alignment and center. Now let's work with this social. First of all, let's go to the browser and let's see. Let me refresh it. Okay, so my apologies for, I think there is some problem with my system also. I need to fix those issues. So the images are looking good, but we have to fix with the titles and the hover of the social links. So go back, and here let's start with the social links first. I want to get the scene selector from there, paste it here. Let's have an anchor tag. Let's use the transition here. It is going to have a color of, and then 0.3 seconds. Color is going to be 0F394C and 0F394C. Let's use the margin here, where the margin is going to be 0 and 3 pixels. Let's use the padding top 7 pixels, border radius is going to be 50 pixels. The width for this is 36 pixels. Height is also 36 pixels. Background is RGBA 35, 0, 75, 0.8. Okay, let's use the display again, display property here, and inline block. Let's use the transition again here, not again but for this section, is in, out, and 0.3 seconds. And let's use a color which is going to be white. Now for the hover, I want to select the theme selector. Let's go with the hover, and for the hover there should be a background, and the background is going to have 76C D 76C 7ED. Okay, and I do have this class here, but for here I would like to go with the I class, and I want to change the font size for this, which is going to be 18 pixels. Then the next thing I want is, I was thinking to get the class from there, but let's create another. Let's work with the member info class. So for this, let's have member and then member info. Let's use padding here. Padding is going to be 25 pixels and 15 pixels. Then I would like to copy the same class, pasting it here, and heading 4. So the font weight would be 700 here. Margin bottom is 5 pixels. Font size 18 pixels. Color is going to be 0F394C. Okay. The next thing is, I do have the same class. I'm going to use it, but I want to use it with the span element. And here I would like to have a display property. So display block, then the font size is going to be 13 pixels. Font weight, here I would like to go with the 404 font weight. Color is going to be gray. Okay, and again I do have the selector. Let me paste it, and let's work with the P element. Just a minute, I just want to check something here. So the span, and I want to use a P element here. It's a span element. Okay, yep. Not the P element, sorry. It's a span is done. Social, hover, and social. So member, hover, and let's work with the social element. Social element with the opacity of 1, and the bottom is 15 pixels. Save it, and let's move on to the browser. Okay, so it's looking good. Okay, that's looking, it's beautiful. Okay, hover on it, color is there. Now let's move on and work with this last section, and then after we have to work with our JavaScript. So let's go with to work with the footer section, index.html, and here we have to I don't want to go with the comments. Let's go with the footer element, assigning it an ID. This ID is going to be footer, and let's have a class here. This class is going to be margin top 2. Let's have a division here, assigning it a class, footer top. Again, division, class, container, division, class, raw, justify, content, center, let's have another division, assigning it a class, and this is going to be column large 6 and heading 3. Heading 3 is going to have a class again. The class is going to be text dark. Just the name of the company, and the company name is Construction Co. So here the company name, and let's go with the P element. So the P element is going to be of 10 words. Okay. Now the next thing is, let's have another div here, assigning it a class, and this class is going to be raw, then footer, and footer is going to have a new footer newsletter, actually footer newsletter. Justify content center div class column large 6. Let's have a form element. Input type is going to, type is email. Name is also going to be email. Placeholder is your email. Okay, let's have the input. Let's have another input element. This input element type is going to be submit, and value is value is also going to, value is going to be subscribe, not submit, subscribe. And okay, so let's have social links for the footer section. So for that, let's go with a div, assigning it a class. The class is going to be social links, and then we have to go with href, and href is not reg. And let's have another class. It is going to be Twitter. For us, some icon class, FAB, Facebook. Okay. Let's copy this element, and we have to work with this Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. So the first one is class is Twitter. Actually, the first class is going to be Facebook, and this is going to be Twitter. Then let me remove this one and this one, and it is going to be, it should be here and here. Instagram, and let's have a LinkedIn here. So this one and this Facebook is removed, and this is going to be linked in. No, sorry, it shouldn't be here. That's okay. Save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. Okay, it is loaded, and if you guys are hearing any kind of background noises, it's my neighbor's kids, so they are just playing outside. And okay, so the social links are here. Now the next is we have to work with the footer credits and the line we have there. Let's have a division here, assigning it a class. The class is going to be container, and footer bottom, and then let's say clear fix. Another div, assigning it a class, copyright, and here let's say ampersand copy for the copyright sign, and here let's see copyright, and let's use the strong element here, and then within this strong element let's write the company name again, Construction Co. And after this let's say all rights reserved, and then after let's have another div assigning it a class credits, or for the credits, so it is credits. And then after this let's say designed by you and me, so designed by Lorem Ipsum. Copy this and save it, move on to the browser. Okay, everything is here looking fine until now. Now let's go to the main.css and start styling this section. So for this I just want to go with just a kind of a separation footer, and let's use the footer ID, footer top, and I think let me find it. So footer top. Okay, so this footer top class, footer top, I thought that I have given it tops, so footer top, and let's have a position. The position is going to be relative. Let me close it. Okay, relative, and then we have to use the z index here, and z index is 2, and let's have a text align center, padding is going to be 80 pixels and 0. Let me get this selector. I just want to copy this and paste it here. Let's have heading 3. Font size is going to be 36 pixels. Let's use the font weight here. And after having the font size, let's go with the font weight, which would be 700. Color for this is white. Position is going to be, hold on, I'm doubtful in this color, so let me check here. And let me check here something else. Where is my heading 3? I already defined a text doc, so I don't need this color. Okay, my apologies. Okay, then position is going to be relative. Then let's have a padding bottom and 0, and let's go with margin bottom 0. Save it. I am okay, p element, I thought that I mentioned any class to this p element, and it's just a p element, so let me copy this, paste it here. Let's go with the p element. Font size would be 15. Font style is italic. Margin is going to be 30 pixels, 0, 0, and 0. Let's go with padding, and it is going to be 0. Then after I do have the same selector, let me have it here, and footer newsletter class. So footer newsletter, and here the text align is going to be center. Then the font size is 15 pixels. Let's use margin top 30 pixels, and newsletter, and let's copy this, paste it here. Let's see, form, the background is background, spelling of the ground, G-R-O-U-N-D, background is going to be white. Let's use the padding 6 pixels and 10 pixels. Let's use the position relative. Let's have a border radius. Border radius is going to be 4 pixels. Let's have a box shadow, which would be 0 pixels, then 2 pixels, 15 pixels, and RGBA is going to be 0, 0, 0, and 0.1. And the next thing is, the email type, and for this, newsletter, then form and input element. Let's use the type here, and the type is email, and border. Let me show you what is this first of all. Here in the browser, you can see this email border. It is going to be finished 0, so means that it is not going to you guys can see that there isn't any email border now. Okay, so that's why I use this border 0. Let's use the padding here. The padding is going to be 4 pixels and 8 pixels. Then we have to use the width, and we'll use a calc function, and 100% minus 100 pixels. Okay, save it. Then the next thing is, I want to copy this, everything, okay, all this block, pasting it here, but here in place of this email I want to use a submit here, and let me delete this one. Okay, for the submit button, let's set the position, and this position is going to be absolute. Let's have top 0, right is going to be minus 1 pixels. Let's use the bottom here, and it is going to be 0. Border is 0. Background none. Let's use the font size. Font size 16 pixels. Padding is 0, 20 pixels. Background would be, background is going to be 202000124, and color is white. Transition 0.3 seconds. Border radius is going to be 0.4 pixels, and then 4 pixels, and let's say 0. Let's use the box shadow, which would be 0 pixels, 2 pixels, 15 pixels. RGBA, which is going to be 0.1, and save it. Get this selector, copy this, pasting it here, and now I want to use the hover for this, and the background for the hover background is going to be EE463A, and it's not the way I have added the background. Okay, now let's use the footer social links. So social links will have margin top of 30 pixels, and let me copy this, paste it here, anchor tag. Let's use the font size 18 pixels. Display is not subgrid, but display is in line block. Background is going to be, let's go with 200124, and color would be white. Line height is going to be 1. Let's have it padding, not right, but only padding. So the padding is going to be 8 pixels and 0. Margin right is 4 pixels. Border radius would be 4 pixels again. Let's use text align and center. Width is going to be 36 pixels. Height would be 36 pixels. Transition is going to be 0.3 seconds. Okay, after this, let's have a hover over these social links. So let's copy this selector, paste it here, and let's go with the hover. The background is going to be EE463A. It's for hover effect. And okay, let's save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so it's just now you guys can see that when I'm hovering over the icons, there is a nice effect. Okay, so let's work with this section and the outline or the border top. So it is going to be footer and footer bottom. Then let me check something. Okay, I just need to check footer. Okay, there is a footer bottom class. I have seen it. Now footer bottom is going to be, it should have a border top 1 pixel solid, and the color is going to be 200124. Then Z index is going to be 2. Position would be relative. Padding top 40 pixels, padding bottom 40 pixels. Let's move on to the browser, and let me refresh the page. Okay, so there is a nice line, and now what we have to do next is we need to work with the footer credits. So footer copyright float is going to be left. Then we need to use the footer credits and here we should say that float is right and font size would be 13 pixels. And now let's use some media queries. Max width is 768 pixels, and let's say that footer, then copyright, and footer copyright, and then let's have another footer credits class. Here we should say that float is going to be none, and let's have a footer credit padding top 5 pixels. Save it, and let me close this, and let's go back to the browser, refresh the page. Okay, now we have to work with our nav bar and our work section with the JavaScript. I have seen a mistake here. I didn't finish my nav bar. I don't know why I didn't finish it. So let me move on to the nav bar. Where is the nav bar? Here is the navigation, and I didn't finish this button. Okay, so let's finish this first. Then we have to do work with some of the CSS of nav bar, and then we will move on to the JavaScript. Okay, so we have done until this data type is button, and we have a data toggle, this collapse data target. I didn't use, I forgot to use that. So let's use data target. Data target is going to be the ID nav bar and nav bar nav. Then let's use the ARIA controls. What is this? ARIA controls. Okay, and ARIA controls are going to be nav bar nav, then ARIA expanded, ARIA expanded. ARIA expanded is false, and spelling of my ARIA. ARIA expanded false, and then ARIA label is toggle navigation. You know, I've made a mistake here. It's not data label, it's ARIA. I've saved it now, and let's move on to the browser. Let me go to the responsiveness, and here is the button, and now when I click on it, oh yeah, I need to refresh my browser. Okay, so now it is working. Before it wasn't, and because I missed too many things. Now we have to remove this outline, and we have to use one CSS class for the JavaScript, and then we will use that class in the JavaScript. So first of all, let's go to the main.js, CSS, and here on top somewhere, yeah, here. After this header links social, let's use the hover here. Just a minute, I need to check something. I think I missed something else also. So okay, let me get this one first. Social links, and let me copy this, paste it here. Let's use the hover, and here it is going to have a color. The color would be FF7F5D. Okay, and then let's go with the Nav Bar Toggler. You guys have seen that its color is black and it has an outline. So first of all, let's change the icon. The icon is black, and therefore an awesome icon, Nav Bar Toggler icon. Now it should have a color of white, and it has that ugly outline. I usually remove that outline from all my projects. I don't want it to be there. So toggler, and let's use outline and none with the important flag because we are overriding. So you guys, let me show you first this one, and let me refresh it. Here is the okay. So now there isn't any outline and this menu is of white color. Now we have to use another class. In this class we are going to use in our JavaScript. This class is going to be fixed nav, and then ID is navigation, and position, we are going to use this one in JavaScript. Okay, position is fixed and top is going to be 0. Okay, now let's move on to our fixed nav, and yeah, main.js. As I've told you earlier that we are going to use JQuery here, and we have linked our JQuery CDN here, this one. Okay, so we have linked it here in the head section. Now let's start using this one. So for that, I'm going to use the $sign. I'm going to say that document.ready. Let's call the function here. I'm going to explain what it is going to do. So here I'm saying that when the document will be ready, so the document I'm talking about is this index.html, and this document will be ready. This function has to perform. Let's declare the variable const nav, and let's say that the nav is going to be an ID. Okay, it would be the ID. Our ID, we already declared this ID. The ID is navigation. Let me show you this ID here. Here is the ID. Actually, there is a party in my neighbors and there is too much noise. That's why I'm trying to speak louder. Here is the navigation. This ID we are calling. Okay, we are declaring here within this variable. So ID is navigation. So ID is navigation. Then we have to declare another variable. This is going to be nav top variable, and here we are saying that nav offset, it's a function, and top. Then here I am going to call the window, that window on scroll. Okay, when the window, on top of everything, on top of every function in JavaScript we have windows. So when the windows is like, the browser window, so when the window is going to scroll, when window is on scroll, then this the function is going to operate. The function is going to be sticky navigation, and we are going to create this function. Okay, it's a call of the function, so now we are going to create this function. So let's create the sticky nav function. So we are saying function sticky navigation, and we are saying that let body is going to call, we are going to, like, body is a variable, we have declared this variable, and what we are doing, the body of the page, okay, is what it is going to do. We are going to apply a condition here. So if window is going to scroll top, we have to, let me use this scroll top function here, and is going to be greater than or equal to nav, like this nav top, then the body is going to add a class. We are calling the add class method here, and or event here. So what it is going to do, it is going to call the fixed nav. Okay, this fixed nav now we have created in CSS. Okay, like few minutes ago. Then let's finish it here. Okay, so what this function is going to do, what this all is going to do is no, sorry, we have to create the else. Sorry, there is an else, and I hope that it is clear. So when the document is ready, I've already told you document is this index.html. We have declared two variables, nav and nav top. In nav variable we have assigned this navigation ID as I've shown you earlier, and there is another one, nav top, and this nav top we are going to call this method, offset method. So when window is on scroll, there would be a sticky navigation function. This function is going to apply there. So we have created this function, sticky navigation function. In the sticky navigation function, the body is going to work. How? That if the window is going to scroll, or window within the windows, there would be a scroll top function is greater than nav top, means this offset, it is, if it is greater than this one, then the body is going to add a class of fixed nav. Otherwise, okay, in else, the body is going to remove, this is a remove class method, body is going to remove the class, and which class body is going to remove? It is fixed nav class. Okay, so in other words, the body is going to remove this add class, this fixed nav. How? I'll show you. Hold on, okay, just a minute. I'll show you how this is going to work. Go to the browser, refresh it. Okay, so first of all, now this is the window scrolling top. Okay, and it is not working. I need to check what happened. Let me refresh it again. Okay, it has to fix here because I have already declared a position here that fixed nav. Look at the mistake, it's a fixed nav. Okay, save it. Fixed nav, the position will be fixed on top, and the top is going to be 0. Again, let me refresh it, and the whole function, like the window is on scrolling, the navigation bar is on fixed top. Okay, and now you guys can see that it is working nicely. Okay, clear enough? I'm sure it is clear to you guys that all the function. Otherwise, the else condition is that now it is not, it is on top, nav top, the offset. Let me show you this. This offset or nav top is going to remove the class. Okay, the first condition is scroll top is greater than or equal to nav top, this offset method. Then the it is going to add the class of fixed nav. Otherwise, in other case, the class is going to remove. So the other case is this one. Here the class is removed. Okay, in the other case the class is removed, but the first one it is here. Okay, now let's work with this. What is the name of this section? Gallery section, or our work section. So let me get the class here, which class I have assigned. The counter, and the class name is work list item. Okay, so let me copy this work. Okay, I just remember work list item. Go to the main.js. Okay, so let's start working for this gallery section. So here $, and we do have I've copied the class, this work list item class. Okay, what this class is going to do, it is going to use the click method, and the function is going to call. So this function, okay, is let's declare some variable. First of all, the variable is going to be value, and this is going to be, this would be equal to this. Now this would be the attribute, the data filter attribute we have used here. This data filter attribute here is all, commercial, housing, and the lorem. So we are saying that it is going to, the value is going to call this attribute. The attribute name is data filter. Okay, then let's apply the condition that if value is equal to all, okay, means that if it is equal to this data filter all, then there would be a method is going to applied, and that method is filter method. It is going to show the number. Okay, and then we, otherwise in other condition, it is, there would be another method, another filter method, filter, way in which it is not going to show any of the additional value. It's going to hide it when it is not clicked. When all will be clicked, I'll show you, it will be explained, you guys will understand it better when we will do this practical. Okay, I'll show you. So when the filter, and the other condition, the filter is not, then we are going to use the value hide, and it is 300. Okay, then the next thing is, it has some error. Let me check. Yeah, you know, the parenthesis is not to be here. Sorry, the bracket shouldn't be here. It should have a parenthesis. And yes. And then the next thing, again, we are going to call this filter here, and then the filter is going to add or increase the value to show. Okay, then after this we have to call again work list item class for click, then again a function, and then here this function again, let's say this is going to add a class of active item. Okay, and it's a active item, and the siblings are the other ones. Like when this active class is clicked, actually I because my browser has some problem, so what will happen when this before performing this active class function, all these functions are going to be in same color. Okay, but then when we are going to apply this thing, the siblings, they are not going to use the same class. So we want to remove that class from here. That's why we are using this function, the remove class. And that remove class means remove that active item class from them. Okay, so let's save it, and let's have a semicolon here. Move on to the browser, and here is my browser. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so if I click on commercial, you guys can see the commercial buildings are here. Okay, can you see this, the difference? And when there is a click function, at that time the color is changing. Otherwise, let me do this in front of you guys, and it will be easy for you to understand or to differentiate what's going on. Save it, and here we are. Let me refresh the page. Okay. Oh, let it be. Commercial, housing, lorem. You know, there isn't any difference between these classes. They are just like, it's not showing that they are active, right? Because active is this one is active. It has a different color. These are not active. So for this, we have used this one. Okay, and this is how we have finished our this project, this construction company project. And let me show you the difference now. Commercial, okay, it's working. Now you can see the difference. Color is changed, again changed. Okay, so now it's fine. Let's see the responsiveness of this. First of all, let me show you the overall all this project. We start working from the hero section, then the CTA, call to action, navigation bar, and it is going to fixed on top. Then we have the services section, some projects stats section. We have used the filters here, as you have seen now, team section, and a nice footer. Okay, now let's go to the responsiveness of this, and it is responsive. So here you guys can see that it is responsive. The navigation bar is working, and yes, let me go on top. First of all, here there is a hero image. The nav is going to stick on top. Okay, and then the services section, click on it. Oh, it's my browser issue. Then the stats work section here. If I click on the commercial, then all the commercial buildings are here. If I click on housing, then you can see all the houses are here. Everything stacked on nicely on top of each other. Then here is a team section. Click on it, and okay, and then we do have the footer. The small things, the small nitty-gritties, you guys please fix it on your own. Okay, so you guys can see that these are also appearing. If there are anything you think that is not good, please fix it on your own. And I hope that you guys will like this one. This project is going to help you guys in your assignment, in your whatever you want to use it.